Ongoing issues with river flooding across Georgetown County related to those impacts from Florence, especially up through parts of North Carolina. And the big river that we're paying attention to in Georgetown County is the Waccamaw River. I've had some questions from some of you folks as to the Black River, whether that's going to be an issue for us. The good news is with the Black River, with its origins back into Lee County, it's not expected to rise because those rainfall totals back up into parts of the Midlands, not as significant as what we saw up into North Carolina. And in fact, the Black River below flood stage and is continuing to kind of just hold steady there. Now the Waccamaw River has its origins up to the north, up into North Carolina, and so all of that rainwater that fell out of Florence up into North Carolina now starting to drift downriver into Georgetown, Horry counties, and then down into the Atlantic Ocean. So you can see we've got this flood warning in effect now across the area here in Georgetown County around the Waccamaw River, and this impacts about 15,000 people. That includes Georgetown as well as Horry counties included in that warning area. But watch that. That flood warning goes all the way until Saturday morning, and that's because we're expecting the river to continue to actually rise over the next several days. So some of the areas included here in this warning include the Mount Rhea area there, just to the east of Plantersville, and it is just to the west of Murrells Inlet. You see that 17, though, getting close to that warning area, especially as you get down into that Georgetown County area. And of course, they're making preparations in Georgetown County to deal with the potential for some of these waterways to overflow into parts of the roadways as well. Waverly Mills, you're included in that warning area, and then looking down into Georgetown included there, as well as Maryville and down towards the Bell Island Garden area. So these areas are being encouraged to watch these water levels very closely. Evacuations are underway in parts of Georgetown County. So taking a look at the Waccamaw River gauge near Conway. This is upriver from where we're talking about there in Georgetown County. So keep in mind when you're talking about river flows, you want to take this and actually lag it behind when we're talking about Georgetown County, since this is a little further upstream. But check out these numbers here. The record prior to this event was 17.9 feet. That was the highest we'd ever seen the Waccamaw River there in Conway since we've been keeping records. As of this morning, it is now up to 21 3/4 foot. That is pretty significant there. That is almost 3 feet above that record flood stage. It is expected to crest around 22, so about another foot or so to go before it crests, and that's expected as we head into the later part of Wednesday. And then it kind of hovers there around that 22-foot range, and then very, very slowly starts to drop back off as we head into the later part of the week. So that's why you have that flood warning going all the way up into the weekend, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that extended, especially if this forecast verifies. You're expecting this flooding to be ongoing for quite some time. Checking in with the rainfall totals, because of course we do have a chance for rain here in the forecast for your Monday. Some scattered showers possible into Tuesday, Wednesday, even Thursday and Friday. 72-hour rainfall totals up across Georgetown County, fairly low. That's the good news there. 1 to 2, maybe even less inches of rain. So these showers expected to be fairly quick moving. We could see some pockets of heavier rain certainly through the day, but the good news is we're not expecting any significant rain on top of some of those issues that we're going to see with the flooding. So that shouldn't compound things too much. Taking a look at the headlines here, flooding of low-lying areas along the river. That's what we're expecting. That's why we've got that flood warning in effect. And some areas could become isolated. Keep in mind, if you're one of those folks that lives near the river but is on a little bit of higher ground, just keep in mind that if you've got lower-lying areas all around you, you could end up being an island, and that would mean you're kind of isolated and stuck. So that's a reason that some areas, even if you're on higher ground, they're encouraging you to evacuate. And again, we are expecting this river to stay well above the major flood stage through the remainder of the upcoming week and even into the weekend as well. We'll continue to keep an eye on the Waccamaw River there in Georgetown and bring you the latest as we head through the week ahead. I'm meteorologist Chrissy Kohler.